Good evening, one and all, and welcome to episode 219 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, who needs to just press a few buttons to make sure that everything is coming through okay. And then I need to go over here as well because I work alone and I don't have an assistant. Come on, tablet, show me that everything is coming. Right, I think we're okay. For those of you who are watching live, thank you very much for tuning in. This episode was only announced just over an hour ago. Those of you who saw the post will have noticed that I said that even though there is a bit of me that feels very, very crushed by this week already, and it's only Tuesday, and I thought all I want to do is just be quiet and be by myself. And then I thought, no, there are quite a few perfumes I want to talk about with all of you out there. And doing these episodes never, ever, ever fails to put a smile on my face. So I thought, let's just do some Love at First Scent. So the plan for today, for those of you who are watching live and are planning to stick around for the lives, is that we're going to do 3 short episodes. Well, I was going to say single perfume episodes. This is a single perfume episode. The next one is going to be a single perfume episode. But the final one is going to be a single brand, new to me brand episode. So stay tuned, but if you're watching the recording, you're very welcome as well. Please feel free to leave a comment, ask a question. I usually get round to all of them in due course, and please do consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already done so. Connor gets the first comment saying, Papa Persolaise, now you be good. Bren is saying, evening, Mr. P. I enjoy your talks on Serge, says Rich Mitch. And is it Gisani is watching for the first time live. You're very welcome. Ramsey says, time to put work on hold. Hello, Love at First Scent. S. Umar is watching from Singapore. And Caro Coffee 123 says, so nice to catch you live. I had just sprayed some chamade and was going to spend the rest of the evening sniffing my hand, but this will do. Fantastic. Hello to all of you. And somebody called Renaud saying, first live in a while. Is that your first commenting in a while, or you're very, very welcome. So everyone's aboard. Hello from Belgium, says Quentin or Quentin. Renaud, do you two know each other? I need to get on. So the subject of this one is this little thing here. Obviously, this is not the bottle. This is just a little sample vial. I am going to try to pronounce the name. Serge Lutens' names always test my ability to pronounce French, which is not fantastic at the best of times. So this is the latest addition to the Gratte-Ciel range, and it's called, I think it's called La Proie. Okay, I think that second word is Proie. La Proie pour l'ombre. Okay, now, before I spray it, and I have sprayed this one before, I've actually had this little sample for over a month now, and I've been sniffing it occasionally, thinking of the best way of talking about it, and also really hoping to love it, and so far failing to love it. Not that I dislike it, but Serge Lutens is a great brand, remains a great brand. But if there are any native French speakers out there, like for instance Monsieur Salmon, could somebody try and sum up what this means? I did a little bit of research on what the term means, what the expression means, and there does seem to be a bit of confusion out there on the net. Surprise, surprise. Can't get a straight answer on the internet. But one thing is for sure is that it is an expression that is used in France, or it's part of an expression that's used in French. And my understanding, Quentin says, I speak French, but no idea about this expression. There you go. My understanding is that it's something to do with the fact that if you chase after the shadow, then you run the risk of not catching the substance. And apparently an English equivalent is something like a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, so don't go chasing for the thing that, I don't know. So maybe confusion on the net, says Rich Mitch, my God, we're all going to die. Well, it could be that we don't get an answer right now. It could be that somebody watching after the recording will be able to help us out. But I guess what we're meant to take away from what I've been able to find out doing my research is the idea of duality. The idea of something being the shadow and something oh, there you go. Renaud's chipping in. You chase something uncertain instead of something you have. Okay, so a bird in the hand, right? A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So, but okay, seeing as you're contributing, Renaud, thank you very much. Is the expression saying don't chase after something uncertain, or is the expression saying take the risk and don't settle for what you have? Go and chase this uncertain thing in case it turns out to be better. But we have got this idea of duality. We have got this idea of something being the real thing, something being fake and insubstantial, and and a shadow. Um, Rich Mitch says, strange how the net contains all the information ever, yet nothing on the internet is certain. Yes, it contains a lot of information, but maybe not a lot of knowledge. What's Renaud saying now? It's actually admired, as in what? Chasing the shadow. Well, anyway, let's spray this thing. I think in a way the name is the most interesting thing about it, which is I don't want to put it down too much because it's fine, but it's not one of the Serges that's going to get us all excited, and that seems to be the way with a lot of the new additions to the Graziel. Of course, a lot of the old ones are now in the ridiculously expensive Graziel range, but the new ones are maybe not as interesting as some of the ones that he's putting in his signature range. Confusing as usual from Uncle Serge, says Ashfaq. But I like the fact that he very, very staunchly and devoutly makes French names and doesn't try to make names that are going to translate all that easily. He seems to be saying, if you want to find out what this means, make the effort to go and find out, do the research and find out. Otherwise, live in ignorance. I think there's something admirable about the the sort of bull in a china shop, bullishness of that. For me, the best Serge Lutens are in the bell jar, says Quentin. Just got La Mire in Paris a few days ago. It's amazing. That's a beautiful one. Beautiful aldehydic myrrh. So, what is this? This sells itself as a gourmand leather, and that is what it is. And if I were to tell you that the basic structure of this is leather notes over vanilla, then you would be right in thinking that it doesn't do anything particularly new. It doesn't do anything particularly earth-shattering. I suppose it does what it does fairly well, although it does seem quite simplistic. You really do have your leather on this side and your vanilla on the other side. And I hadn't made this comparison before while I was wearing it, but just putting that thought into words right now immediately made me think of the Frederic Malle Rosen leather, the Rosé Cuir by Jean-Claude Eleanor. And even though that is not my favorite Frederic Malle, I find the execution of that duality idea more interesting, because in that sense there seems to be a real tension between the two poles. They keep pulling each other, and they sort of come together, then they pull away again. One tries to dominate over the other one. Here, there isn't a huge amount of drama for me. You just get these two blocks, and they just carry on side by side with each other. And I suppose the other thing that bothers me a little bit is that we had something similar-ish from the brand about 9 or so years ago with Santal Majuscule, which I still really like. I don't know if it's still available. We can look on the Lutens site to see if it's still around. But that was a kind of sweet gourmand sandalwood, and that somehow worked. There, the elements did come together and become greater than the sum of their parts. This felt to me like an attempt to recreate the magic of Santal Majuscule, but it just doesn't do it. Maybe because the sandalwood note in there is one that I find a little bit dubious. So I think it's interesting, but not Uncle Serge's finest hour. Fumerie Turque and Chêne are some hidden gems in my opinion, says Floating Man. I would agree. Do you think this release was meant to sell well and or for profit instead of being artistic, says Connor? Well, I think the truth is that they're all meant to sell, right? But maybe sometimes you can actually get some kind of artistic innovation and selling. Vanilla Absolute is ever so slightly leathery. Interesting that it doesn't come together, says Yura. I have got hardly a press release. Unfortunately, I don't have the official Lutens press release for this. This is from the website. It says, La Proie pour l'ombre, an improbable, paradoxical, and elegant perfume. In the Grazial collection, Serge Lutens reflects on the well-known French expression La Proie pour l'ombre to create a fable on those torn apart by impossible choices. And I remember I read that and I thought, well, that's about as clear as the black bottles that the Grazial are in. Plagued by a lack of resolution, they take refuge in a world of illusions, a hall of mirrors, where they chase after shadows rather than substance. Tender vanilla or carnal leather, you can't trade one for the other. Like two sides of a coin, they are diametrically opposed, yet their fates are irrevocably entwined. Which makes it sound terribly interesting. And so maybe for whatever reason it just doesn't click with me. I get the concept, but I don't think it comes together. If you have actually tried this and you're watching the video, then please do let me know what you think of it. But for me, it gets a kind of good effort. Let's see. The shirt reminds me of Peppa Pig. That's got to be the comment. That's got to be the comment of the month. I am going to wear this in front of the next time I see the little ones in the family and say, does this... In fact, I may be going with one of the little ones to the cinema in a few days' time. I wonder if there's a Peppa Pig film on and I can dress up as... Yesterday I was being compared to a cross between... who was it? Channeling Rowan Atkinson and Michael Jackson, and today is Peppa Pig. I'll take it, it's fine. And on that note, I will say, thank you, Uncle Serge. Try harder next time. I will be back in a few minutes with something new from C'est un livre d'orange. See you soon.